redistricting. The media continues to make heroes out of all the Democrats who are talking about redistricting. The Democrats continue to overpromise what they can actually accomplish. Texas Democratic legislators are still not back, but there seems to be determination. The California plan revealed by sources overnight to many news organizations suggests that they're going to try to match what Texas is doing, which is take 5 Republican House seats away. Both states, if they succeeded, would reduce the number of House seats held by the opposition to a very small number. And I'll continue to say, if you're outraged about what Texas is doing, you should be outraged about what Illinois did and outraged about what New York has done and Maryland and Massachusetts. I don't understand.
Florida and hold on now. Go back to the Jeb Bush
era.
Of course.
but this is what states do. And the whole point is to have competitive districts, right? That's the public policy good.
Well, that's not the point of this anymore.
Well, that should be. We should have more competitive districts. The whole point of what Texas is doing is the same as what Illinois did.
So I actually disagree with that.
Whoa.
Shouldn't be. I'm not a fan of competitive districts. I think that's not. I think they should be representative districts. So and they're not. That's not synonymous. So if your state is 80-20, then you should kind of reflect the delegation.
But it would be good. It would be good for the country if more districts were competitive. That's a public
I don't know that I agree with
that. But
how do you hold a member of an elected official accountable if they're in no danger of losing?
But let's just take, like, hypothetically, let's just take a state that's 75% Republican, 25% Democrat. I would argue in that case it should be 3-1, right? That the congressional delegation should try to reflect the state a little bit more. But when you have a district, when you're making competitive, and the person who's representative, that, where I live in the 8th district of Virginia, the district looks like a snake, and it goes out into northern western Virginia to create this thing. And so you're Don Beyer, who's is sort of representing 5 people in parts of McLean, so that to me isn't actually helpful.
Well, I don't mind if the districts look funny as long as they're trying to keep communities together. And I agree with you that the delegation should be broadly representative of the makeup of the state. But all those things being equal, it's better for the country if the districts are not drawn to make them red or blue in a solid way. It's better to have competition. I don't know how anybody,
competition.
I don't know how anybody could argue with that. I would rather live in a red
area where the competition is a primary.
Look, I think
it should be both. Even if you live in a red area, your red member of Congress could be there for 50 years, and he might be, or she might be, impregnable in a primary. But it's better for the voters if there can be an actual competition of ideas.
Yeah,
sure, of course. But I do, because this is a right-wing talking point that Texas is responding to what Illinois and Maryland did. You got to go back. If we're going to do the history book, in 2000. Jeb Bush, Tom Ridge in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, they hit the throttle and absolutely changed the maps. I think Florida at one point was 80-20 Republicans to Democrats in a 51-49 state.
Yeah, but Dan, do you think those are the 2 states that ever did it before? No one did it before then?
No, I'm not. But what I'm getting to is Democrats got crushed in the 2000 redistricting wars, right? Because the GOP had all those governorships that they won in 94. They got reelected in 98, and they wanted to try to keep the House. So in 2010, when Democrats had these states, Illinois and Maryland were 2 huge ones that everyone was like, Martin O'Malley, we got to press the case. Democrats did the same thing. I go back to all of this started this year because the White House called in the Texas delegation and said, we want you to try to get more seats because we may lose the House.
Yeah.
That is what started this.
No. What started it was when some political operative invented the capacity to redistrict using computers.
Mark,
That's what started. But
Mark,
Dan,
you can't say that.
Why you're starting? You're choosing when to start the narrative of the story.
Of this cycle. When did it start?
Sure.
But what does it matter?
The idea.
Yeah. What does it matter, Dan? Why does it matter?
It matters because that's the domino that fell. That's getting all the rest. of
the domino that started was when some political operative said, "Hey, we can use computers to redistrict to maximize the number of seats we hold." I don't know when that was, Dan, but it was before Texas.
Yeah,
and
but
certainly
again,
every state,
Trump
every
White House
state
called them into the White House.
except for the few
Right.
states,
But hold on.
except for the few states that are, except for the few states that are patsies who chose to go with a nonpartisan commission, which largely just turns into incumbent protection. Except for those,
you're going back to the beginning of time. That's like saying when they wrote the Constitution, they screwed it. Mark, this started for this cycle.
Sure, but Dan,
Texas.
Of course, but what does it matter that Texas started this rev? What does it matter?
But
If you're talking about whether to denounce Texas for doing something improper, but that's what your party's doing.
No,
Sean.
Where's that?
No. I mean, look,
guys.
First of all,
no offense. That's nonsense.
Wait. Hold on. I'll give Dan his argument. Sure, this cycle started with Texas, but where did they get the idea? They said, "Hey, last time New York tried to pull this, Illinois did it. Like, why can't we do it?" So, yeah, sure, this cycle, Texas was the ones who said, "Sure," but where did they get the idea?
Hold on.
Hey, look at what New York tried to do.
Why did Texas start?
Because they're worried about losing. Because they're worried about losing the House.
But why
and the White House said,
wait.
And the White House said we can do it. So what, Dan? I don't understand why you're acting like this matters.
But yeah, I get.
Okay, then why are we talking about it?
Matter? Like the bottom line.
Why are we talking about any of this?
No. But my point is, New York tried to do this. Who cares
what California's doing?
The only thing that stopped New York from doing
Democrats. That's how this started. This whole segment was.
No, what I'm saying is the media's turning Gavin Newsom and Governor Hochul and Governor Pritzker into heroes when
they're responding.
But they don't have clean hands.
No one said they do.
Can I get a
the media's acting like they do.
That's not. Depends what media you follow, guys. The most popular network on cable sure isn't saying that.
Okay.
I mean, right-wing media the right-wing media is saying Texas should do this. No mention of the White House. No mention we may lose the House. The whole right-wing narrative is we have to make the delegation reflective of the state, which is utter nonsense because the state's not 80-20.
Either's Massachusetts, either's Maryland.
Look,
all right. We got
there's a difference. Hold on. Can I just look
quickly?
I will cede all this. Like, Dan, sure. Texas started at this cycle. It was a response to past, but I think where there should be agreement is the following: that this has happened for years. I don't even give a crap who started it, to be honest with you. Elbridge Gerry.
Hold on. Put up Fox when you can.
But the point that matters is the following: the narrative when Illinois did it, when New York did it, it was okay. That's just politics. This time, when Texas does it, it's oh my God, Republicans are squeezing these guys for political purposes.
Correct.
Who cares?
Listen to Mike Huckabee. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.